Hi, this is Cadence with the Teen Life Project, talking from one teen to another about real life situations, how to just plainly survive the real world. Hey, this is Cadence with the Teen Life Project, and I'm here with
Avery Irvin.
and I'm 16, and you are
14.
Okay, so we're cousins. If we don't look alike, can you tell? No? Okay, well. Today, we're going to have a more kind of like a positive episode, because like usually we talk about like big struggles and trials. And today we're going to talk about like how it is after you overcome those trials and like what it took you to get there. That makes sense? So first we have to kind of know a little bit about you so that like the audience can kind of connect with you. So let's start off with like your hobbies. Like what are stuff that you like to do for fun?
I just like play a lot of sports and just chill.
You sound really depressed.
I am. Not actually though.
Okay, so what sports do you do?
Volleyball, softball, and basketball.
Which is your fave out of them all?
Softball.
Why?
Yes.
Good answer.
Because it's good.
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 So if someone were to ask you like who Cadence is, you'd have an answer. So if someone were to ask me who is Avery, what would you say?
I don't know.
Like what are things that you do to describe yourself?
I feel like I'm kind of like fun loving, and I have a lot of energy most of the time, and I literally am random. Like I just say weird like whatever. So.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
Okay, so what are some struggles or trials that you go through as a person?
I don't like go through a lot of trials. Like I'd say like the biggest thing that I've ever went through is just like insecurity, and like not knowing who I am as a person, but I've overcome that now, so it's okay.
So how did you overcome that?
Just like like thinking about how other people would view me. So like when I see someone, I don't automatically like judge them and think about how like I don't judge them and say, "Oh my gosh, they look so ugly" and stuff like that. I usually notice like the good things about them. Like oh my gosh, her outfit's so cute or whatever. So I compare that to myself. So I'm like, people probably don't think of like think negative about me when they first see me, and they probably just notice the good qualities over the bad qualities.
So what happens if they do notice the bad qualities and they tell you, and then you're back to square one with being insecure?
So also, yeah. So like combating that, I just think about like their opinion of me is irrelevant to me, because at the end of the day, they probably didn't even remember saying that to me, like telling me that I'm annoying or whatever. They probably don't even remember telling me that. But if I let what they said like affect me for years and years, then and they don't even remember it, like it doesn't even matter, and their opinion doesn't like affect me as a person.
How? Like, because I know a lot of people, they strive to want to be liked by people, and they get ready in the morning, and I know they change styles and makeup routines so that they're liked by other people. So how have you come to where it doesn't affect you anymore?
Before I just like stopped trying to be liked by people that I don't even like. So before I tried to impress someone, for example, there was this girl and I literally wanted her to like me so bad. But then I turned around and I asked myself, do I even like her? And I literally hate her. She literally was so rude all the time, and she did not even want to be my friend, and all she did was like be so rude to me. So that's my philosophy. Like before you try to impress someone, think about if you like them first, because a lot of the times you don't even like them, but for some reason you're chasing their approval.
Well, sometimes it's not that we, like, I know for other people, it's not that they like them, but they want to be liked by them.
Yeah.
Like, there's a difference between wanting to be their friend and just wanting their approval, like wanting to be liked by them, because once you are liked by the popular people, then it makes you feel better inside. So I feel like there's a line between being liked and wanting to like.
And wanting to like be their friend.
Yeah.
So I've been in that same scenario. I got the approval of the popular kids, and then I was like, felt so good about myself, but then I found out they were literally the rudest people ever. So my take on it is like, you don't have to be liked by everyone because you don't even like everyone. Like, you don't have to be everyone's friend, because not everyone's gonna like you.
And it's not a bad thing either. I think it's human nature that we don't like we not that we absolutely hate them and like don't like them all. It's just that we don't want to associate with them. And it's not a bad thing to not like the really popular people or this group of friends. It's just because it's either you just don't like them, and that's not a good reason to not like someone, is because you need to find a reason. You need to figure out what they did to you or what they've said about you, and then it'll help you realize that, do I want their approval? Like, if you think about it, people talk about you and then they come to your face and they're like fake to you, and you're like, oh my gosh, they're so nice to me, but you need to like really step back and think, like, why are they like this to me, you know?
Yeah. So I'm a freshman now, and when I was in 8th grade, I like started hanging out. There's like this big group of popular kids, and I started like hanging out with them more. But then, like, for no reason at all, they just like started leaving me out. They never invited me to anything. They were so fake. And what I realized is that the big groups are like not all that they seem. Everyone's always getting left out, and so I didn't care to be liked by those people because I was done. I was like, I've had it with them. They don't care for me, so I do not need to be chasing their approval because I've already gained it, and I don't feel any better about myself.
So I know it takes a long time for people to realize that. Like, it took me 16 years. I'm gonna be straight up. It took me 16 years to realize that the popular people are, I mean, they can. There's a difference between being popular and well-known. I used to be popular.
I'm well-known. I'm not popular.
Yeah, I would say I'm well-known, but it's definitely what you're popular for. Like, there's people in my grade who's popular for all the wrong reasons. Like, I wouldn't want to
associate with them.
Yeah. I used to associate with the person so much. Like, we were attached at the hip, and then I started becoming popular for the reasons that she was popular, and in reality, the only reason I was becoming popular is because they just assumed I was just like her because I was best friends with her. So what you have to realize is that you can be well known and you can be nice to everyone, but you don't be fake nice. Like, you need to genuinely be nice if you are well known, because then you have more friends, and your life is just happier. I think you're just a more happy person.
Yeah.
So let's say there's someone who struggled really hard, like, I don't know, years ago, and they are better now. And then there's temptations, like, you know, triggers, like sometimes, like, when, let's say drug addicts, people that are addicted to drugs, when they're trying to recover, let's say they go to a party with friends and there's drugs at the party, that's like a click to them, and they're like, and then they either relapse and they go right back to where they were, or they stay strong, you know? So let's say you're a teenager who's addicted to something. It doesn't have to be drugs or alcohol. Addiction is, you can be addicted to anything. So let's say they're addicted to something, they got better, and then they go to an event that triggers them. What would you tell people that are wanting to be better but still have that environment around them?
I think I think that, like, we're all human. Like, it's okay to, like, mess up as long as you keep that motive that you want to be better. Because if you're around things that will trigger you and make you want to start over again, you need to like think about, it's okay if you mess up, but think of how far you've come and all the things you'll lose if you were to get addicted again.
And it's human nature to mess up, but it's another thing to mess up and then be like, okay, I'm going to do better, and then keep making that same mistake.
Yeah, so you need to be like completely honest with yourself too. You have to
And sometimes that's hard.
Yeah. Like you have to just admit I have a problem. I'm hurting people that are around me and I need to get better. And if I keep making the same mistake, I'm going to lose all my connections, like if you were like to be addicted to drugs. I'm going to keep hurting people around me, and I'm going to keep cutting off relationships with people. So you need to be honest with yourself and think about all the things you'll lose if you were to start back again.
And sometimes it takes people a long time to go through that process of thinking, admitting to yourself, admitting to other people, and then fixing it. Sometimes it takes a day, sometimes it takes a year. But it just depends on you and how bad you want to keep doing good.
Yeah, if you just have to stay like motivated. Like you can't just, if you were to mess up, you can't just say, this is it, I'm gonna be like this forever. You have to like keep going and want to improve yourself. You have to just allow yourself to solve your problems, because a lot of times other people don't understand what's going on.
And keeping in mind that other people can't solve your problems, it's okay, put it on the thing. Where did you find that? Okay, go. Okay, thank you. What was I saying?
I have no idea.
Oh, keeping in mind that other people can't solve your problems, it's good to talk to other people about your...
Yeah.
I hate saying problems, because I like to say trials or struggles, because problems feel like you're...
They make you feel bad.
Yeah, I feel like you're a castaway if you say, I have a problem. No one has a problem. They have struggles and trials that we're all put on this earth to overcome.
Yeah, so other people can't make you go and solve whatever's you're struggling with, but you can talk to people who can give you advice and insight to what is the best for you. So,
and there's a difference between asking for advice and listening to that advice. If you're gonna ask, you better act on it, because you're just wasting other people's time.
Yeah, and that can be like with anything. I have this friend, and she comes to me like all the time talking about how much her friend group literally treats her so horrible and they're all so mean to her. And I'm like, then leave them. You don't even like being around them. They're always hurting you. They're always making you like cry and feel so insecure about yourself. But you still choose to hang out with them. So like there's acting on it. You can't just like take the advice over and over again and just then you'll just keep falling back into your thing if you never act on your trials.
So why do you think she continues to associate with that friend group?
Because she cares about what they think. She's scared. Also, she's like very loving and kind. She really like cares about people, and she hates making people mad, and she just wants to please everyone. And she often puts other people's needs before herself and it really like destroys her mental health, because she has told me, I'm like, why don't you leave them? And she's like, because I don't want to make any of them mad or sad that I'm leaving them. And I'm like, well, they treat you horrible. So oftentimes I think she just like doesn't want to hurt their feelings, but even though they hurt her feelings all the time.
And I think it's good. It's a good thing to not want to hurt people. It's a good thing to be selfless and think of other people. But there's a fine line between
people taking advantage of your kindness.
And at the end of the day, it's your own happiness that you're stuck with, not other people's. You're not going to be in bed thinking about how happy is this person. You're going to be thinking, why am I not happy right now? And it's because you let other people take your happiness away, and you didn't take time for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm super glad you put your dogs away because I could smell your feet from here. They were out and I was like,
Good, you like it.
I
You
do.
probably want to eat them. Anyway. She...
Ew.
Stop.
Fine.
Yeah, you can be a very kind, compassionate person who puts other people's needs and is always willing to help, which that's a great quality that you can have, but you have to realize that a lot of people will take advantage of your kindness and your care, and then they'll just use it for themselves, and they will not treat you the same way. So you have to be aware.
Correct.
You have to be self-aware, and you have to constructively criticize. Think about what your friends are doing for you. So,
But you said that like 5 times already. Per.
Good.
So,
What do you know about that star on your forehead?
literally, you don't know how big this pimple is right now. They're huge.
I can see it through these. I can see it through this microphone.
I think I look
Anyway.
good in it. Every time I bend my forehead, it like hurts.
Then how about you stop doing that?
Okay.
You have to take criticism and use it.
Hey, yo, chill. I done nothing to you this morning. Anyway, what was I gonna say? You messed me up. You look
You're
goofy.
the one talking about my dogs.
Let it get to smell them.
Good, you like it. You literally have a foot fetish. I'll touch you with them.
Okay, I remember what I was gonna say. So, sorry. So, let's say a person's doing really good, and they're doing really good on the path they want to be on. Truly, how do they stay there?
Thinking about their goals and their
What if they have no
values.
goals?
Then that's, I think having something to work towards is it. Having something to work towards is like one of the most important things you can do. If you don't have like a goal, then what's the point of trying to improve at all? So you have to create a goal. Like, I want to lose 60 pounds. I want to lose 60 pounds in.
You actually?
Not
It's
actually.
really all your weight. That's all your
Literally
weight.
not me, just like in
You're
as
literally
an
a skinny
example.
legend.
I know. Okay, maybe we'll not do that. I want to have
Straight A's.
I want to have
Good.
straight A's by the end of the semester. But if you don't
I
act on
wish.
that and you're constantly skipping class and you're constantly never turning in your assignments, then you won't have anything. So you have to have a goal to work towards, and you have to be willing to act on that.
Well, sometimes, talking about grades, sometimes you do try hard and you do turn in your assignments and you go to class, but you still end up with a C, and it makes you mad because you tried, but there's a fine line between trying and trying before the due date's there. Just thought I would say that because, yeah.
Okay, so like you still have a C.
Mm-hmm. So
Is that because of like the teacher or just because you're dumb?
because you didn't take math seriously at the beginning of the year, but now you want to.
You have to like study.
Yeah, let's say finals is in 2 weeks and you studied and you got an A on both your 2 tests, but your grade is still a C.
Then you
feel
have
like
a talk with the teacher
and
about
then you feel like
not changing your grade.
And then you feel like you want to give up. What do you tell people who just want to give up on everything because they feel like they already failed?
A quote I saw was
Ooh, per quotes.
a quote.
Period and period.
The most beautiful rainbows come after the hardest
Rain.
storms.
Oh, good.
So, a lot of times the reward will be greater than the trial. So, say your grade hasn't changed but
What do you keep looking at?
that thingy behind you, it looks so weird. Why you got that from Big Lots?
Okay.
Anyways, So you still have a C in your class, but finals are in 2 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you study so hard for those finals, and then you get an A, and then your grade is completely changed because the final was like 60% of your grade.
Only 15, but
Okay, well, that's not the point. So then you get like, your grade gets raised to a B plus at least. Then you could finally go show your mom that you got your grades up. So even though that trial was hard and you still had a C after getting to 200s, you aced. That's what you said.
You said 200s.
Two
After you got
A's.
200s.
Let me say that again. Okay.
Sorry.
So you aced your finals because you studied really hard, even though your hard work wasn't paying off at first. It wasn't paying off at first. And then you finally, like, your grade got boosted up at least to a B+.
And now you're happy because you worked hard, and work hard pays off.
Yeah. So a lot of times your trials and struggles will be, like, really hard, and you'll have a lot of crap that you're in. But then something good will happen if you keep pushing. If you just give up, then you're going to be in that same situation forever.
Mm-hmm.
And you're always going to be depressed. But if you keep going, then eventually things will turn up.
And sometimes it takes a really big person to do that sometimes. And
Yeah.
you have to find that inner big person inside of you. Pull your big pants up and get off the couch and go do something.
Yeah, you get off that couch and you go. Put your big old pants on.
Now that we've talked about, like, getting better at your trials, I know a trial I go through is, I think my trials change over
There's always new, like, problems.
maturity and who I hang out with. I think my problem now is not the word problem. My struggle now is I don't know. I think my life's going pretty good right now, but I'd say keeping my cool. I think I get really mad really easily, and I, like, just argue and get mad. So I feel like what I can do to improve that is think before I speak, but that's really hard for me because we've recently figured out that I don't have an inner monologue. So I know, crazy.
Wait,
huh?
that little thing that talks inside your head?
Yeah, I don't have one of those. Whenever I, like, instead of
I
thinking,
thought everyone had that.
so did my mom, and I don't. We watched this, like, interview thing, and I have one, but, like, it's rarely there. The only time I have one is when I'm reading, like, inside my head. But, like, if I were to think of something, instead of thinking about what to say, I just say it. So, like, it's hard for me to think of what I say before I say it, because if instead of thinking about it, it just goes straight to my mouth and I just say it. Like, I don't have a filter. Like, that filter's not there. So if I don't like what you're wearing, I'm going to say, go change. Like, I'm not going to think and be like, what's a nicer way to say this? Like, I can't do that. I think it's going to take really long for me. I mean, not
It all
learn.
makes sense now.
Really?
All the times you told me I literally look so bad. Yes.
I was just telling you that out of pure love.
Literally, don't even lie.
I don't know. It's weird. Like, I don't know. I thought it was normal, and my mom was like, "You don't think?"
I have
And
a
I was like,
voice
"No."
inside my head. I still say whatever, but So a struggle that I had is, like, with sport.
Had or have?
Had.
Oh, okay.
I don't have really any struggles because
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I had insecurity before, but now I've been so confident and so good. And so it's, like, self-aware, so I'm good with that. But a struggle that I had was sports in general, because volleyball, I had terrible coaches.
You literally are good at everything.
Okay, thank you, but these coaches hated me. My coaches literally had it out for me for no reason. Like, literally, what the freak did I do? They were always, like, so mad. They put me on the lower team for no reason.
No, they did not.
They did.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so what I did was, instead of crying and complaining about it to the coaches, which I totally could have done, but they probably would have told me to go kill myself because they hate me. They were like, I just worked really hard, and I accepted that I was going to be on this lower team.
You just like, because you were bad. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I
Sorry.
just accepted that I was going to be... I accepted that I was going to be on this lower team, and they switched my position too. So I got really good at my position, and then they started seeing how good I was, and they saw my
Finally.
potential, and it was so...
It was worth it.
Yeah. And then, so the coaches literally suck for volleyball. They're always so rude, and I literally have had it. But with basketball, I was almost in the same exact scenario. But the coaches were actually good this time, and they were new coaches, so they didn't have
Yeah,
it
because the
out for
coaches
me.
from your town are now in my town. They coach here now.
What coaches? Oh, yeah,
The best.
Brogan. No, I'm not talking about those coaches.
Oh, okay.
We got new JV and
Whatever.
freshman coaches for basketball.
Oh.
And they didn't know me, and I guess I didn't make a good impression first, like with my skills for basketball, so they didn't think I was very good, so they just put me on the freshman team, which is fine. But then,
You are a freshman.
well, I know, but like there's not that many basketball girls, so like a lot of girls got to play JV,
Yeah.
and I
I
did.
had a bad experience playing basketball, so.
But yeah, but these coaches didn't know me, so it was like a clean slate. So I showed them. I literally worked so hard in practice, and I was able to build momentum, and I was already like pretty good, but they just couldn't see it. And then so I started doing really good and really improving and really taking their critiques to heart. And so finally they started starting me on JV after it was just a couple weeks that this happened, but I was really depressed these couple of weeks. So then I started working so hard, and I literally have been starting JV like almost every game this whole season.
That's really
So-
good.
Yeah, so I totally could have just accepted my fate and been like, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to be on JVB this whole time. I'm just going to be on freshman, and I could just do my best. But instead, I was like, I told myself with my inner monologue,
Thanks.
I
Thank you
was
for that.
like, I can either sit here and cry and just accept it, or I can work really hard and make a good impression on the coaches and show them what I can do, because I know I'm good and they don't know that yet. So I have to show them. And so I showed them, and I literally
And you literally showed up. You
I
literally
showed
showed the
out.
house down. Okay, dance. Cool.
So yeah.
I'm so glad you were able to share that experience with me and my listeners.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, I'm mad that you were making fun of me for not having an inner monologue, so.
They just get
But, like,
one.
if-
Make it up.
No, if I were
Give it
to,
a
like,
little name.
instead of thinking something, I just talk to myself out loud. Is that weird? Like, I'll be when I'm driving in the car, if, like, I'm by myself, I'll just be like, yeah, so today I'm
You're like,
gonna
hey,
do-"
girly pop.
No.
How you doing?
Like, if usually when people think about, like, let's say I'm going to Walmart and they're, like, thinking about what
how
they're
they
gonna...
need to get the milk.
Yeah, I'll be
and
like-
take it back to their kids.
Yeah, this is... Like, if someone thinks I'm going to get milk, I'm going to get this, I'm just in my car and I'm out loud. I'm like, okay, I need to get milk, I need to get eggs, I need to get tortillas, I need to get Nutella out loud. And then I'll be like, yeah, so I had a really good day today. And I just talk to myself out loud, and people think I'm weird because I do it everywhere.
I have a voice in my head, but I still don't have a filter really,
No.
because like I'd rather like
Well, sometimes it's good to have a filter, though.
yeah, no, certain situations like I do have a filter in the right situation, but say I like don't like someone
You
at
don't have a
all.
filter when you're sleeping, I'm going to tell you that. You can sleep talk all you want and kick me out of my bed.
Good, you
Go,
deserve
finish.
it.
Okay.
I'm trying, but you're literally talking.
Sorry.
There's this girl I literally cannot stand, and for some reason she thinks we're best friends, but it's not like I'm fake to her or anything. I literally make sure she knows how much I don't like her. I don't say I literally hate you, go die.
Oh my
but,
gosh.
But like I'm so like
No one should say that
I
to
literally
anyone.
just like look at her like this, and I'm just like, and she's always trying to sit next to me. I'm like, literally, what are you doing
she just
here?
wants to be your friend.
She's so annoying and rude all the time. She should not try to be my friend. But my point is,
Why did you even tell that story?
it's better to like,
That's so negative and rude.
it's It's better to like not be fake and make sure someone knows like to not come around you. Like she doesn't know obviously because she always sits next to me, but I'm not fake around her. I'm not like trying to be her friend or anything. Can you literally stop? You asked me to be on this podcast, so
you insisted we come in here. I was literally trying to sleep. You're like, come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's go to the mics. Come on. And I'm like, okay.
So, like, say I was, like, trying to be someone's friend and they didn't like me at all, but when I come around them, they're like, hey, oh my gosh, girly pop, how are you? Then I think that they're my friend. And I, like, but they actually hate me and I don't know that. That'd be literally so sad. But this girl is not even, like, she literally has never been my friend before, but she's always, like, trying to come around me.
Oh my gosh. No, actually, she doesn't.
Yeah, she does. And it's not like I'm rude to her or anything. Like, I'm nice, but I'm not, like, fake. Like, I don't go out of my way to be like, hey, girly pop, what's going on? What's the latest gossip? The 411.
What's the 411? Name that movie.
So, yeah.
Okay, well, that's a great story. So the point of this podcast, I think we are trying to get around was that you need to find your resources and you need to push through and you need to put your own happiness first. And like, you need to really think about what you want in life and what makes you happy rather than trying to make other people happy. Like, it's really important to put yourself first all the time, I think.
Always push through because the reward for pushing through that trial is always greater than the struggle.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you guys for...
podcast.
Get out of my studio. Okay, go.
Well,
thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for listening. And we will see you. You guys will listen to me, not see me. Maybe you'll see me next time on this was episode 11, I'm pretty sure. And so we'll see you on episode 12. Toodles.